What's up, Crispy Cruiser here, and I'm going to show you my tips and tricks on how to set up a drum rack. Now, we all know that camera microphones, they're not the greatest, so I'm going to let future me take it over in voiceover. Let's get going. I know this is an electronic drum kit, but these tips and tricks are applicable for acoustic drum racks as well. The order of which you set these up matters, so we are going in 3 phases. Phase 1, drum rack shape. As you assemble your drum rack, consider the shape of the parts. For example, with this drum rack, it has arcs. Drum racks arcing out allows for space under the drum rack and brings the drums in the center further away from the player, which leaves room for a kick drum, or if you are tall like me, you can fit your legs too. Over here, like the hi-hat side, it leaves room for pedals, or if you plan to add more elements, there's plenty of space to do so. A drum rack arcing in brings the drums in the center closer to the player, like Tom 3 here, and in the case of Tom 4 towards the end, it pulls it away for a more comfortable playing position. Phase 2. The next phase is your clamps and mounts. Get your clamps in place to where you need them. Make all the necessary fine adjustments. Think of them in a 3-dimensional plane. You have left to right along the rack itself, forward and back within the clamp depending on your model, the tilt of the angle left and right, as well as forward and back. And up and down along the post. Up and down can also be solved by adjusting the bar height of the drum rack itself if everything is too high or too low. Always be mindful of your ergonomics to prevent injury. Some clamps are better suited facing inwards, while others facing out. Typically, tom mounts face inward to bring the drum closer to the player and to accommodate for the depth of the shell. Cymbal mounts, however, can vary. Cymbal mounts are typically facing out. Because of the diameter of the cymbals, you'll want to accommodate space. Smaller ones like splashes and kangs can sway the way. Really all depends on where you want the end of your boom arms to rest. If something is too close or too far in comparison to everything else in proximity, consider reversing the clamp direction. Phase 3, wiring. For XLR and directional cables especially, be aware of what direction your wiring is going. If you favor your module, mixing board, or want the sound engineer to run a snake to the specific side. I laid all of my cables out on the floor to ensure my right angles went to the drum, and the straight end went to the module before wrapping them around the rack. Pro tip: if you have a massive drum kit like Danny Carey of Tool, Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, or Neil Peart of Rush, and you are bouncing from venue to venue with different sound engineers, you may want to consider running cables towards the center of the kit, so the engineer's snake can reach your needs and likely the needs of your vocalists and other musicians if they are running them all through the same snake, which is very common in smaller venues. An alternative idea is to pack your own snake if you want to be particular about where all your wiring leads. When you are wrapping your wires, be sure to leave slack for ease of installation into the component on both ends. That also allows for future adjustments of drum and cymbal heights and angles as they may evolve over time. Wire wrap is a great way to keep the drum rack looking good and organized, but it is also functional for easy setups and teardowns in a hurry. You can use zip ties, Velcro. These clamps happen to come with the rack. Organization and management like this are great for you road warriors that need to be in and out of venues as fast as possible. If you are moving your drum rack as a whole unit while transporting, always accommodate for pivot points. You can do a loop around method to create slack where the drum rack is folded for transporting. Be mindful of the direction of the loop in connection with which you are going to fold your drum rack. I group my cables in 3s to make it easy to find the correct corresponding ends in low lighting situations, like a cell phone light. I label my cables on each end with only 2 colors of zip ties. It is easy to tell the difference between black and white in low lighting situations, so I use those two colors. Alphabetically, black goes before white, so black is wire number 1, white is wire number 2, and the one that doesn't have a zip tie is number 3. When I reach the end where the module or snake is, I label them in a way that is easy for me to understand in low light as well. I bundle the 3 cables with a binder clip. Then with zip ties, color code the clip. 1 black zip tie is group 1, 2 black zip ties is group 2, 1 white zip tie is group 3, 2 white zip ties is group 4. I use this zip tie method because it's also easy to feel in darkness how many zip ties there are. Use whatever system works best for you to remember how it goes. This just happens to work for me. But consider the possibility of setting up your drum rack in low lighting while touring. You can also use this binder clip method on both ends if you have a large drum kit that requires more inputs within proximity to each other. Pro tip: if you are wiring sound and lighting to your kit, keep them wrapped separately. A DMX signal wrapped closely to an XLR signal wrapped closely to a power cable can create disruption. Once you have it up and running and it's functional for you, all that's left is to bask in your accomplishment. Play them drums. And if you enjoyed my content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget that bell icon for notifications on new content. Well, peeps, you've been the audience. I'm still Crispy Cruiser. Until next time, keep on drumming.